Welcome to Kenpo for Black Belts, Lesson 8. My name is Sensei Roger.
And I'm Paul.
And today we have a nice short lineup for you. It's not a lot of techniques, but I think this is good fun stuff right here. But before we get into that, let's go over a disclaimer. Martial arts training may lead to injury or in rare cases death. Now with this knowledge, you assume all responsibility of injury or death from the training of the contents of this video. Let's get into this here. Alright, first off, there's a technique we call trapping blade. It's against a knife. Obviously, when you're playing around with knife techniques, people take it so literal and they get mad and say, you'll kill somebody with that technique. You may be right, but you may be wrong.
Yeah, don't go home and grab a big kitchen knife and try this, okay? Get something that's...
A lot of times, our techniques that we train are kind of obsolete for today's day and age. Why do I say this? A friend of mine was talking about this. He did Kali, and he made a lot of sense with this. We don't pull back so hard, so the movement will be much harder to do, to be able to grab and do other things like that.
Right.
Because how quick they're coming at you usually. Back in the old days, they wore body armor a lot of times, and you had to really put more oomph to it. Stabbing a body, it doesn't take that much oomph.
Right.
Especially if the knife is sharp with a sharp tip. Doesn't take a lot. But this technique here, this is something that I like for movement reasons too. First off, we want to do, he's coming with the knife thrust, is move my body out of the way. Let's change the angle here. That's number 1 point. Get away from the point.
There you go.
Yeah. So you're here, I'm like, oh, so now I can just do other things if I needed to, more practical things. So now do a quick thrust, fast. So now I'm just slapping it, there's that.
Yeah.
I kind of slapped him, but I could have rich handed him in the throat.
Right, I would have felt it.
I could have web handed him in the throat. Okay, but that's not this technique. He's coming at me, I'm getting out of the way. My idea is to hit this hand and try to grab it. If I do not get to grab it, coming at me, pull it back, fast. I couldn't get a hold of it good enough. I felt him pulling me in, so I kind of let it go, and then I could just come right in. As long as he doesn't get that thing coming back at me, that's the idea, is get away from that blade. I'm here. Now I do get a hold of it this time. I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to take my hand in here. Open your hand. So my thumb is here, my finger's here.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's hard for him to open hand and let go of this. My original thing was that. That was the original technique of it. I was like, I don't like that. That's just too weird and too gross and simple.
Like a Monty Python.
So this is what I decided to come up with. Take him down, gooseneck. Alright, let's try this again. Try from this angle. Paul's coming at me, I'm out of here. I lift it up. I can just kind of see, I already moved him. That's the idea. I'm kind of not really looking for a great wrist lock at this point. If I got to hold that hand, I probably won't have a great grip for a wrist lock. Come at me. But if I do have it nice, I can start pushing it on forward. That's the pipe dream.
Right.
That's the dream of saying, yeah, I got it perfect. It probably won't happen perfect. But come at me. Now I changed the way I had it, but now I still got this. Take the knife out of his hand. I like this for the circular movements. I'm out of the way, I'm moving, and I'm throwing him with his own weight.
Right.
Hey, jiu-jitsu, aikido, judo, that's where we kind of get this from. Alright, so come at me here, I'm like this, I take him down. Okay, now I was showing the gooseneck on the ground. More careful, boom, kick him right here, crash, body, boom, or boom. The wheel stomp is basically here. Okay, let's work on this movement in the air. It's a fun technique to do, but like we just talked about, grabbing anything that's coming at you quick, punching and all that, that's difficult. I'd still like to do that as a challenge because that's where you can start learning your trapping and locks.
Right.
Alright, so let's move the body out of the way. It's almost like a split step at this point. A lot of you have already learned it.
Right.
But you're going to move this in here. I like to Who gets out of the way? You're probably gonna get cut in a real knife attack.
Yeah.
Great Grandmaster Al Tracy said he was attacked several times, and he showed us some scars proving it. He goes, "But I survived all of them."
No.
He walked away. He survived all of them. And what I hear from people who have been cut and stabbed and all that, they don't really feel it right away if the adrenaline's pumping and it's coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So you still have enough time to usually come and defend yourself and survive.
Yeah.
Unless you freak out and go, "Oh, I just got cut." But, you know, survive and then go to get it taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
That's, my idea is not to die on this.
Right.
All right, let's go get out of the way and grabbing this. We're going to lift it up. We're going to come up and just kind of move that hand like this. As we move that foot back, taking them down, we're going to just do the wheel stomp for the sake of doing it in the air. Trapping blade. Let's do that again. How about a way? Grab it. Coming up like this, and wheel stomp. Okay, we're going to get that guy out of the way. We have a review technique from the last series. It was called tackle technique. This is a Tracy's Kenpo system technique that we have, and it's against someone coming in to tackle you. Paul's coming to tackle me, I chop him. Let's change the angle here. Paul's coming to tackle me. There's a chop, or a hammer, or elbow to the back. Come at me.
Are you going down this
hand. So now that was a little harder for me because you were coming at me with that one, and then I got hit with that hand.
Mm-hmm.
But
Still
if you
threw me off.
if you were actually coming to tackle me, I'd probably be flat on my back.
I'll try to put you down. Right?
Go ahead. So now I dropped my weight. It actually created a whole nother effect.
Mm-hmm.
See how Paul went down? I didn't hit Paul.
Right.
I pushed Paul. Now if I had a strike with that push in it,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to create a whole nother effect.
Yeah.
I like the technique. There's 3 variations that I'm going to show you. 1 is step back to chop to the neck. 2 is step back hammer fist. And 3 step back elbow. And that elbow could go to the back of the head, the neck, the spine.
Yeah.
Just hit anything that's vulnerable. And then stop them. I was practicing this technique with a punch instead of hammer fist because they frown on you hitting the back of the head and the neck in MMA.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was practicing for my last MMA fight, I was practicing stepping out. So come at me, I come in, or just come and punch. That was the idea. I'm like, all right, I want to practice this. But of course, I wanted to go out since it was my last fight. I was like, either I'm going to knock him out or I'm choking him. But first thing is, I knew he was going to tackle me. I already set it up for that because he seen me get my ground and pound video. I blocked all jiu-jitsu videos, so this guy wanted to get me to the ground. He knew I was a black belt. So, of course, here he comes. I'm like, oh, here he comes. I wanted to try to sprawl and do a technique called Peruvian necktie. That didn't work. It didn't happen. Every time I tried to showboat and try to pull something really cool, I ended up getting put on my back. I had to keep it simple for the most part.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep it simple, stupid. But a lot of you guys like to watch these videos for the karate or the Kenpo, and some of you guys like it, the extras that we put, like the quotes and all that. I'm not going to put all the quotes in. I don't really have too many quotes. I might even misquote this one, but we were talking about humility. That was a sure sign of humility when I went to do the one move, get all fancy, and I ended up hurt my shoulder. I still finished the fight and ended up getting a reverse triangle from the ground, but that is definitely not worth landing on my shoulder and spraining my shoulder. It was bad news for a while. Humility. But a little humility is actually good for the soul. I was in my first cage fight. I came from the point fighting background. I was never the greatest point fighter in the world, but I was decent. And then I come in and I was like, I told the promoter, give me somebody good. They did. The guy was about to work for the amateur belt for our weight class of that thing. He fought me, then he fought another guy after my fight for the championship. I said, okay. Well, you beat me. I got ground and pounded. I had the adrenaline dump. But at the end of the day, I got ground and pounded by a guy that probably wasn't training as long as I've been. Or I've probably been training almost as long as he's been alive, to tell you the truth, at that point. So I started in my 30s. But humility. Was it Carlson Gracie Jr., I believe it is. I may get this quote wrong, but he said, always, or don't enter like a, or, oh, I'm sorry, I'm messing this up. I think it's always enter like a kitten and leave like a lion. Never enter like a lion and leave like a kitten. I might have reversed that. But he says, always stay humble. So I know I probably butchered that a little bit, but you get the message. If some of you guys get the idea, I mean, you know that quote, put it down below. Comment it, please. I'd like to get that right. I think he deserves it.
Yeah.
But anyhow, we got a back fist drill here. This is something that was designed not just for black belts to do, but it was designed for just doing group classes, just having fun with the lower belts, or even the higher belts. I'll have do this for exercise. All right, so from this point here, we're just going to throw back fist pass. When I say switch, I'm going to switch your feet. Switch. Get the idea of this? Why don't you try this with us? Don't trip, don't break yourself. Take it your own pace. Here we go.
I say it'd be nice if you have a bag to hit.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
There you go, back fist, go. Switch. 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 Get the idea of that. That's something I like to do for warm-ups. It's a good thing to go with the upper body, get it warmed up before we start kicking, and get a few maybe stretches in there.
Right.
It's just good for group classes. Now, as we come to a close, I know some of you guys met my instructor, Grandmaster Mark Miller, at the gathering of the Eagles in, I think it was Miami Beach, over there in Florida, that just recently passed. And some of you guys were asking about me. Thanks. Thought that was an honor. And he told me your name came up. I'm thinking somebody else in the system. He goes, no, it was somebody that just watches your videos. A couple of guys watching your videos. So if you're watching this video and that was you, leave me a comment. Tell me. I'd like to talk to you a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry I wasn't there. I know they were asking if I was there and all. I'm sorry I wasn't there. I missed it. I do work another job. So I would have rather been there, especially Miami Beach, man. I love the beach. I love sunshine. So, if you guys haven't subscribed yet,
What are you waiting for?
subscribe.
Yep. God bless. Thanks for watching.
God bless.